Haberteen. Weather corona. The sun's crown around the world high above our world, the solar corona glows like a golden crown. In science, it's the sun's outer atmosphere, reaching millions of degrees and sending out solar winds that create the aurora borealis and aurora australis. But in cultures across Earth, this glowing crown has always been more than science. It's been a story, a myth, and a mystery. Let's travel the globe, country by country, learning myths, legends, science, and fun facts about the weather corona. Asia, EP,日本, Japan, Nihon, Nippon, name, Guang no Guan, Hikari no Kanmuri, crown of light, myth. Ancient Japanese believed dragons breathed fire around the sun, creating its halo. Fun fact, Japan built one of the most advanced solar telescopes in the world at Nobayama Observatory, which studies the corona daily. China, Zhongguo, name, Rimin. Myth legends say the archer Hu Yi shot down 9 suns, leaving one with a shining halo. Fun fact, China's space program launched the ASO Solar Observatory in 2022, called the Chinese Sun Explorer, to study the corona. Taiping, Bharat, India, Bharat, name, Surya ka Mukut, crown of Surya, myth. Surya, the sun god, was always shown with a golden aura around his head. Fun fact, the Rig Veda, one of the oldest texts on Earth, 30 years old, describes Surya's halo as a divine shield. Chibuk, South Korea, Taeyan Minguk, name, Taeyang Corona, myth. Fire dogs, Bulgae chased the sun, biting pieces of it, leaving behind the glowing corona. Fun fact, Korea hosts solar eclipse festivals, where families gather with protective glasses to view the corona safely. Pilipinas, Philippines, name, Corona ng Araw, myth. The sun's crown was a necklace gifted by Bathala, the supreme sky god. Fun fact, during eclipses, Filipino children were told to hide under tables so the sun wouldn't catch them. Vietnam, name, Vung Makjoy, myth. Farmers believed the corona meant a lucky harvest season. Fun fact, Vietnam is one of the few countries where a total solar eclipse was visible during the 1995 eclipse across Asia. Prathet Thai, Thailand, Prathet Thai, name, Mongkut Surya, solar crown, myth, associated with Rama and divine kingship. Fun fact, King Mongkut of Thailand, Rama IV, accurately predicted a solar eclipse in 1868. Using Western science, he became known as the Eclipse King. Indonesia, name, Mahkota Matahari, myth. The corona was the radiance of Batara Surya, the sun god. Fun fact, Indonesia lies along the eclipse belt and has hosted some of the longest solar eclipses of the 20th century. Malaysia, name, Mahkota Surya, myth. Malay sailors thought the sun's halo guided them on long voyages. Fun fact, Malaysia's space agency runs solar corona studies to predict space weather affecting communications. Pakistan, name, Suraj ka Taj, crown of the sun, myth. Seen as a glowing halo of divine protection. Fun fact, Pakistan's Indus Valley civilization recorded early solar observations thousands of years ago. Middle East, North Africa, Masr, Egypt, Misr, myth. The corona was Ra's eternal flame. Fun fact, ancient Egyptians used sun temples like Abu Simbel, aligned perfectly with solar events, showcasing their fascination with the sun's aura. Al-Mamlakatul Arabiyyatu Saudiya, Saudi Arabia, Al-Mamlaka al-Arabiya as-Saudiya, name, Taj al-Shams, Taj al-Shams, crown of the sun, myth. Desert tribes saw it as Allah's guiding light. Fun fact, Saudi Arabia has invested heavily in solar research, making corona studies vital for energy innovation. Iran, name, Taj Khorshid, Tai-i-Khorshid, myth. Linked to Mithra, the ancient sun god of Persia. Fun fact, Persian astronomers in the 10th century recorded corona observations during eclipses. Israel, name, Keter HaShemesh, crown of the sun, myth. A crown of divine brilliance. Fun fact, ancient Jewish scholars described the sun's Keter as part of Kabbalistic symbolism. Africa 7, Nigeria, myth. Among Yoruba, the corona was the aura of Oron, the sky spirit. Fun fact, Nigeria is one of the only African nations where the 2001 solar eclipse revealed the corona across major cities. South Africa myth. The sun's halo was linked to the fire of goddess Unonkubulwane. Fun fact, South Africa is building the Square Kilometre Array (SKA) telescope, which may also help in corona studies. Chichichi, Ethiopia. Etio, myth. Linked to the creator god Wak. Fun fact, Ethiopia was one of the best viewing spots for the 2001 total eclipse, where the corona dazzled millions. TP Kenya myth. Masai described it as Enkai's necklace. Fun fact, Kenya witnessed the Kenya eclipse of 2013, where the corona was spectacular. Habersense. Al-Maghrib, Morocco. Al-Maghrib myth. Berbers thought it was the sun's desert lamp. Fun fact, Morocco is home to the Noor solar plant, one of the largest in the world, using sunlight powered by corona science. Europe, Hippie. United Kingdom myth. Druids saw it as a sacred veil. Fun fact, in 1715, Edmund Halley, of Halley's Comet fame, mapped the corona during a solar eclipse. France name, Couronne solaire myth. In the Sun King's era, the corona symbolized royal power. Fun fact, French astronomer Jules Janssen discovered helium during a corona observation in 1868. TPE, Deutschland, Germany. Name, Sonnenkrone myth. Thought to be a heavenly crown of light. Fun fact, German scientists helped develop space telescopes like SOHO to study the corona. Italia, Italy. Name, Corona solaire myth. Linked to Sol Invictus, the Roman sun god. Fun fact, Italy's astronomer Angelo Secchi was a pioneer in corona research. Четверма Россия, Russia, name. Солнечная корона, солнечная корона. Myth, a fiery ring of Dashbog, the sun god. Fun fact, Russia's spacecraft Corona's Photon was named after the corona. Tabo, Michopstri, Lanto Michopstri, Ad2 Air3 Ta3 A1 Air3 Fa3, Greece, Elada, name, Elanto Michopstri, U1 Ta3 A1 Air3 Ka1 Pa3 A1 Michopstri, Ron3 Rufai, Rong3 A1 Air3 Fa3, Iliaki. Fun fact, the very word corona comes from ancient Greek, meaning crown. The Americas United States myth. Navajo saw the corona as balance between sun and moon. Fun fact, NASA's Parker Solar Probe is the first spacecraft to fly through the corona. Canada myth. First Nations described it as a spiritual veil. Fun fact, Canada is one of the best places to see auroras caused by solar winds from the corona. Tabi Mexico name, Corona del Sol myth. Aztecs believed it was divine armor. Fun fact, Mexico witnessed the longest solar eclipse of the 20th century in 1990, 1/6 minutes of corona. Brazil, name, Coroa do Sol myth. Amazonian tribes said it was the glow of a sky spirit. Fun fact, Brazil's scientists work on corona data through global solar observatories. Argentina myth. Mapuche people believed it was Antu's shield. Fun fact, Argentina's El Leoncito Observatory studies the sun's corona daily. Chile myth. Linked to Inti, the sun god of the Andes. Fun fact, Chile hosts some of the world's best telescopes in the Atacama Desert, studying the sun's outer layers. Peru myth. The Inca saw it as the halo of Inti. Fun fact, Machu Picchu's Intihuatana stone aligns with solar events. Oceania. Australia myth. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories saw the corona as Biama's fire. Fun fact, Australia's outback is a prime location for observing eclipses and the corona. New Zealand, Aotearoa myth. Maori legends said Tamanui Te Rā wore the crown. Fun fact, Maori navigators used sun and corona light for wayfinding. Fiji myth. Seen as the flame of Tagaloa. Fun fact, Fiji experienced the solar eclipse of 2015, where the corona was dazzling over the Pacific. One world, one sky. From Guangnoguan in Japan to Corona del Sol in Mexico, from Solneczная Corona in Russia to Couronne solaire in France, the corona is a story of science, myth, culture, and unity. The weather corona reminds us we all share one sun, one crown, and one sky.